So here are some stories some other stories. I love days where we're have these light spots, and I'm in one right now where I just kind of can go over some of the crazy things that are out there that we don't normally get to have time to talk about. Did you see the Van Gogh story? And correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm trying to remember that he cut off part of his ear and gave it to a prostitute, right?
Yeah, or was it his full ear? Or is it just part of it?
Well,
he gave the other part to another one.
The thought was that he had severed part of just a part of his ear.
Okay.
But now there's a New York Post is reporting that it might have been much more of the ear. So there's a sketch that has been discovered by a doctor, and the doctor, it's Dr. Ray Felix, who actually during this time in the 1800s, 1888 to be exact, he's the one that treated Van Gogh after the severing of the portion of the ear, and the drawing shows that Van Gogh cut off his entire ear right to the base of the skull there, and his entire ear was severed with the exception of a tiny little piece of his lower lobe. Anybody care? A little piece of history that's changed, I guess. This is something I think that should be trained at 911 facilities. In Fredericksburg, Virginia, a 911 dispatch center in Virginia is now under investigation after a man died when no one was sent out to respond to his call. 56-year-old Robert Paulus died of heart disease in late April in his apartment. According to his son, his father called 911 hours before his death. In the 18-second call to the dispatch, the dispatcher tried 3 times to make contact with Paulus. After hearing nothing but an unidentifiable sound, the call was labeled a pocket call, a butt dial, and they didn't send anybody out. The guy died.
Oh, but I thought when they do that,
they always send somebody.
The call.
I made a call to 911 the other day. I thought it was the phone number for a restaurant, and thought I'd remembered in my head what the number was, and it turned out to be Herkimer County Dispatch. But there, I didn't call 911. I called dispatch, and when she said, "This is 911," oh, God. I said, "I'm sorry. I thought you were the Canal Side Inn." And she laughed, and she said, "You sure? Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I'm okay. We were just calling a restaurant." But she was very, very careful. Now, if you call 911, though, even if you were to tell them you're okay, they'll send somebody. Somebody's coming to your house here. I think we do it right. No matter what, you dial 911, someone is coming to your place.
At the very least, whether they think it's a butt dial or if someone calls and hangs up, I've had this happen before. They'll call you back to make sure that everything's okay, because it's possible if you're being robbed, you can hit 911, or if you're having a medical situation, like was the case here.
Or you're being, somebody's got a gun to your head and you're told, tell them you're okay.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of the reason for the whole thing. In Spain, an American was gored in the leg and 5 other runners were injured Wednesday in the next to last running of the bulls at Pamplona's San Fermin Festival. One of the 6 bulls crashed into a group of runners close to the fence, goring the American in the thigh and lifting at least 2 others. Why in the hell are we still doing this? I guess it's tradition. But I would not want to be, let alone being a spectator. These people just run out. They just run out and they're either just barely, I don't understand it, I guess. And I know it's history and I know it's a part of tradition, but I don't understand
What's the history on it? I guess I don't know that.
They've been doing it for years.
Well, yeah, but is there a reason? Is it
I don't know. I don't even know what it represents, the running of the bulls. I've never really taken the time to figure that out. In Englewood, Florida, try to keep your yawns to yourself, Andrew.
No, it was
a sigh.
Oh, a sigh.
It was a sigh of, I don't know.
In Englewood, Florida, authorities say a beachgoer has found more than 2 pounds of cocaine floating in the waters at a state park along the Gulf Coast.
This is you can find that story on our website, by the way. Yeah.
What's the value? What's the value on that?
A
lot of money.
Let me call my guy. Hang on. No, I'm just kidding.
A Connecticut TV meteorologist was arrested Wednesday and accused of possessing child pornography. He worked at WTNH in New Haven, Connecticut. Justin Goldstein, 33, was arrested at the studios of the television station. The station announced that Goldstein had been suspended for the duration of the investigation. Connecticut State PD told the Fox TV station there that their investigation of Goldstein began last month after videos depicting child porn had been downloaded to an internet account registered to him. Investigators served a search warrant on his home and found a whole bunch of stuff, they say. If you have interest in children, and I know there was a couple of arrests here locally, and one was an older guy. It's like you've gone this far in your life without being arrested, and you're at this age. But if you're looking at kitty pictures, there's a deviance there that I'm not sure these people can help, but it's just disgusting. Italy's last prince. So this is an interesting story. The grandson of Italy's last king. Are you following me? So Italy used to have a king.
Sure.
And there's a grandson of that king is now selling pasta on a food truck in the streets of Los Angeles. He's Italian royalty. Emanuele Filiberto, 44, is the only male heir of Italy's exiled king, Umberto II, who was forced to resign when the country became a republic following World War II. He decided to start his business, named the Prince of Venice, after what would be his own title. People are saying the pizza's something else. Just delicious. What else do I have? What?
By the way, street value in New York State for that amount of cocaine: Albany, 28 to 36,000. Buffalo, you can get 29 to 37,500. And in New York City, $25,500 to $34,500.
Wow! So how much was it?
So
2.58 kilos.
Boy,
that's a lot more then. That's more because those are.
Wait a minute. Maybe it was 2.58 pounds.
Because it's about.
I'm sorry. It was 2.58 pounds of powder cocaine.
Okay, so that's a little more than a kilo. Or no, that's right about at a kilo, because a kilogram
8 kilo, right,
is 1,000 grams, and then if you convert it to pounds, it's about 900.
So you're looking at what, 30 grand basically, right? Ooh, and the guy did what? He just found it and called the cops.
You're taking me back to a story
I'm
that
sorry.
I passed by here.
I just obviously he did call the cops. He didn't keep it and try to sell it.
Charlotte County Sheriff's officials say the suspicious package was spotted Saturday at Don Pedro State Park, part of the chain of barrier islands extending along the coast. Authorities told the Herald Tribune that the pouch of cocaine contained 2.58 pounds of powder. The paper said the case is under investigation. The guy must have just alerted authorities. They don't get into it much more than that.